we have 4 or 5 tests really, and all these tests, there was a question earlier from Greg, well, what are you different from your competitors, you know? I think we only have one competitor that is big enough. And this is one of the differences. We have not one test like they do. We have about 4 tests according to what is that you want. Because not every dairyman wants to look at a spreadsheet with 200 traits and they're looking at things saying, what am I going to go by? So we have this test. First, let me go. The Elite is the one that we do for you guys, for the breeders. That is a complete test, the most complete test that we have. It used to have about 80 markers, which is our competitor still has the 80 markers. We doubled that to 150 lately. We have a bigger chip. We have more markers to tell you more about the bulls. The Prime test is the test that you know that our competitor has. Greg early was asking me about what about the results? Are they the same? They're exactly the same. This test, once we take the sample, it goes through the same places. It goes through CDCB, USDA. It gets the same results as everybody else. I wish I could tell you ours is better, but it's about the same. We can get a faster results to you, to the customer, but otherwise the numbers are the same. But this is the one that is most popular because of that's what we have as a competitor. Then we have the Select, what we call the Select. This test is the same than the other one. The only difference is that you cannot add on anything. On the first test, on the Prime test, you can do several diseases, several defects that you can add. On this test you cannot, because we use a smaller chip. But we can make it cheaper because we use a smaller chip. So it's the same, and if you compare the results of this test with the other one, the numbers are the same, exactly the same. And then we have the Essential. This is a test for the dairyman that tells you, I don't want to look at all that, I just want to know milk. I just want to know net merit, that's all I'm interested on. So this test has only 15 traits. And I'm saying traits in general because some of them are indexes really. Like your net merit and milk and so forth. And this one is a lot cheaper. Thanks to Merck, and when we deal through Merck, they make, by the way, everything I'm telling you is on your sheets, as well as the prices and all this. For example, the Prime test is about, thanks to Merck, it's about $41, okay? And the Select test is $36. It's exactly the same for you. Dairyman that wants the same results is the same, except doesn't have the add-ons. And the Essential is $28. That has only 15 traits. This is the sheet that will tell you what we get the most is what is the reliability of the test. You have a column here, what is the reliability of the test, okay? As well as the prices that I was telling you, they are there, I believe. We used to do hair. We don't anymore because of the cost that is for the lab to give. Every time we got the hair, we had to take the cells and do the test. And unfortunately, we had a lot of PhD that got tired of taking the follicles out all day. So we went to tissue, which is what we do now. Just take the notch out of the ear. And that's what we use. Another thing that we do, by the way, is we do our a BVD test from the vial. And we do it as soon as we get the sample. What we do is we take the preservative that is inside the vial. Let me see if I can get a vial out. And I'll pass them around. But you've probably seen these things. If you want to take a look at it. if you want to press it. But as you see, there's a fluid here, a preservative, and that's what we take the sample for the BVD. We used to do a PCR test for that. Now we do an ELISA test that is a little bit faster. But those results you get in 7 days for the BVD. And then later with the tissue, since it goes there, that's what we use to do the test. Okay? And this is what we use. Let me show you what is it we do. I think seeing it is a lot better than seeing in the slide. But what we do is we put the vial with a puncher there. This is what we do. We just load it a little bit, we push a little bit, and then we take the red tag, and it leaves the gap between the puncher and the vial. Okay? So we put the ear, get the ear there, and then we push, and with this puncher here, we'll cut the piece of tissue and put it inside. Okay? It's very simple. Sounds simple unless, very simple if you have headlocks. Let's put it that way. And it was need a rope. But that's the way we do it. And then we'll take this, doesn't leak. You can keep it for weeks if you want. It doesn't need it to be a refrigerator either. You cannot leave it on the dashboard of your truck in the sun, but otherwise, if you have it in a box in your truck, that's it. You can keep it as long as you want and then send it to us. It has a barcode at the end. That is what we read. At the beginning, we were taking notes, and we'll read the tag number from the heifer and write the number of the vial. Until now that we have readers finally, for everybody's relief, and we can do it automatically with a dairy comp reader. So we can read the RFID, and we can scan also the vial. So it pairs the vial with a calf or heifer. So that way we don't have as many mistakes. It's not impossible to make a mistake, but it's a lot less chances to make a mistake. Yes?
Elias, one of the things that I thought would be good to mention is you can actually get the gun and put an ear tag in there with it. So you can actually, if you're doing babies and you want to ear tag them, you can take the sample and the notch, ear tag them in one hole, sample and ear tag in one hole. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can do both at the same time.
Stole your thunder.
No problem. But you can do the same thing. When you put the tag, collect also the tissue. Those are the ones that we were talking about that you usually keep them because you want to pass through the mortality before we do the test. So we test on the survivors. But this is the same thing we were talking about taking a sample. We used to do hair. We pulled about 20 hair. We need at least 20 to 30 follicles, so we pull out of the tail and put it in a card. I think I have some cards, as a matter of fact. I can't pass them around, but all you do with those hair is it has a little plastic thing here, and you just lift it. Let me see if I can show. I haven't done this in a while, so you just put the hair here and seal it, and that's it. And usually we trim the end that doesn't have the follicles. Yeah, they cut it from one of the follicles, and I just sent hair to the lab that they couldn't use. But and you just write the tag number, and that's it. We do blood also. A lot of we were discussing with Greg, a lot of the calf ranches that are doing taking blood samples for colostrum and so forth. It makes it a lot easier for them just to take a couple of drops and put it in a cart similar to this one and just send us the blood. That's all we need, 2 drops. And we can do the test also. And that's the tag we were talking about. The readers that you're used to, probably you see them all the time. And now it's helping us a lot to do it a lot faster. It used to take us 3 times the time, I mean, yeah, longer, and also wasn't as accurate when we were writing by hand.